Since it's the first very relevant RAL, I have never looked at. I don't know what the Ajani is called. The creature Ajani is called either. Like I don't look at those names. We see 3 basic islands in the hands of the RAL player. So we might either be looking at is it high tide list or something else. Running a Nomad Encore out against a top decked Spikefield Hazard. That's a pretty good answer.
That hurts. That hurts.
But generally running it out against a red deck, I would think that's a bit risky.
Yeah, but maybe, Cabosso has something in mind here.
The tags at the bottom are still incorrect on the stream.
What do you mean? I'm working on
okay.
the actual names and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay.
What
So we have
about.
a personal tutor in hand for the RAL player, which is a rare card to see nowadays, but also very much indicates that we are playing High Tide. And a 8th edition or 9th edition foil merchant scroll as well. So we might be in going off territory soon.
You have to respect that.
Yeah. Looking for a high tide, finding a high tide. The only question is, what are the other cards in his hand other than that island? Or is he just... Okay, he's just using the personal tutor to kind of say, okay, I'm shields down, win this turn, and if you can't, I will try.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
True. Past in Flames.
As far as I know,
is in consideration. We also have a Jeska's Will, from what it looks like, is what he was considering.
the Tymna
So this is
Thrasios deck can definitely not win next turn unless it features an Elvish Spirit Guide or something. But it's a brushland, right?
Yeah, it's a brushland and the Yavimaya.
Yeah, then there has to be no. Yeah, it would work. But if it's an Elvish Spirit Guide and there's a blue mana incoming, that's perfectly enough.
If he has the correct cards.
If he has the correct cards, he has to have 2 combo pieces in hand plus the Spirit Guide, and most decks don't feature a Spirit Guide, so
yeah.
Yeah, a Wheel of Fortune. Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Looking at what like when you have the Lier high tide decks, which I think we've seen once before at a tournament and every now and then on Modo.
Yeah.
That's a really good upside is once you've tutored for like a high tide with, say, a merchant scroll, the merchant scroll is in your graveyard. So if you Lier and high tide again, then you've got a bunch of mana, and then you can use your merchant scroll to go get an intuition, which gets you more spells, so like all these
But
very strong interactions.
In terms of Lear, intuition is an exceptional tutor.
Yeah.
Because it's so powerful.
But in this case, he has access to the high tide line, but he's also he casts high tide here, and then he has to look what else he can find in his Wheel of Fortune if he decides to go off. He
Actually,
might decide.
Considering the fact that it seems that Cabosso had the entire lineup, like Nadu and Nomad in hand, with the voice in between, I think it's fine to play the Nomad against a deck that presents very little interaction. because
Yeah, definitely,
it's
definitely.
an Izzet
I'm
Storm deck, and
I wouldn't I'm not questioning like I'm not sure if he knows um the Rel player's deck. I would
I think he knows what to expect against that commander.
okay.
I think that's
Like
the
if
case.
that deck got played against me, I would still expect some amount of red removal,
Yeah.
I think. But I would
But
also
you never know. Like
probably
maybe they're even
just not
friends or
expect
know
for it.
each other. Maybe he took part in the brewing process and whatsoever. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I cannot. Is it a final fortune? One of those spells is a final fortune, I think.
There's a Rite of Flame, and I don't see the card in the middle. But it's a blue card, I think.
Oh, so the left card is the wheel.
Left card is the wheel, right card is the Rite of Flame,
Yeah.
and the card in the middle I'm not sure about.
So
Getting access to another red mana is pretty good here, since if he wouldn't have access to it from his lands after he Wheel of Fortunes,
yeah.
if he does so.
I mean, he needs to ride a flame now.
Yeah.
The question is probably when to include Ral into the loop. When the card was released, I was playing the deck for some time too. It was a lot of fun, but it's pretty difficult to assemble the things, especially because there's always the 50-50 chance of Ral flipping or not flipping.
Yeah.
And this is one of the matchups where the damage dealt due to the trigger is not that relevant, but at some point you want it to flip. Like you have let's say if you can enable like 4 or 5 flips, the first 3 times you don't want it to flip, but then it has to flip at some point. And then
Yeah.
if you have like 2 or 3 more instant sorceries to cast and it doesn't flip, then you really have a problem because then your complete lineup is screwed. Oh, so we have a Rite of Flame.
And an
That's
Unwind.
nice. It's
Counter
an
target
unwind.
non-creature spell and untap. So he
Mm-hmm.
is locking himself out of red mana if he does cast the Wheel of Fortune, which I suspect that he will do, until he finds another land untapper. But yeah, this has to be a very specific set of cards off the top with the Wheel of Fortune, and he's already played his land this turn.
Yeah.
So I am curious to see what he flips here. So Thrasios had an endurance, a swords, and 2 lands. So a very underwhelming hand there. And we see at least 3 lands, which is a bad sign. I
Serum
think there's also
Visions.
a Baral at the front there. So he's tapped out.
Mental Misstep, I guess. Yeah, a couple of red spells, but he has no red mana left, so that's unfortunate. Because if we have a look at Baral
Expressive
again,
iteration.
we don't have a world in which, like, once we transform, you need at least 8 loyalty in order to make use of the additional draw. And
Yeah.
once you reach that, you're good to go. Mostly, you will find a way to win the game. But
Yeah.
beforehand, it's super difficult. And he was dependent on casting the wheel, as you said. So here we have a Baral. So I think the high tide turn definitely brought him back, having a chance next turn to come up with something.
I mean,
But now,
yeah.
I mean, Tymna
Now,
Thrasios redrew 7 cards, and the likelihood of finding a Shuko, for example, is very high now.
exactly. And
Especially because Ral cannot interact now due to the voice.
absolutely. And the voice of victory is putting another 1 creature in play, because one of them's going to get blocked by Ral.
Yeah.
Unless he has a removal spell for Ral. So we see a survival of the fittest. I think a parallax wave. Yeah, interesting to see. Yeah.
I really love the fact that we get to see some RAL magic again. It's a deck that you really have to have the guts to bring into a tournament because it's difficult to pilot, lots of headaches involved.
Yeah. Yeah. And with, I think, like, I dislike playing these 100 card singleton storm decks
Really, I love it.
because
I love it.
because there's just so, like, the once you start including black,
Yeah,
you're looking at more of a combo deck than a storm deck,
yeah,
because you have a bunch of tutors and a bunch of ways to kind of find the cards that you're looking for, and a win condition in Tendrils of Agony that gives you a pretty definite way to, like, you have your goal of 10 storm win, and that's not the case in these decks.
yeah. I mean, I think it got better due to the appearance of the storm scale dragon. Then again, as you said, if you look at I'm not sure if the P wave is having any impact here. Or like, I mean, it stalls the game, yes. Maybe his plan is to win by combat damage. Down to 17, 3 attacks. The P wave at least saves Cabosso from a Baral flip. Oh, okay. He's trying to generate value with the P wave, it seems. Why not?
Yeah, so he has the 2 tokens in play, and yeah, wants to keep the rel locked up for at least
Did I miss something? I mean,
another
the
turn.
Nadu should be.
He didn't target the Nadu.
Oh, he targeted the tokens,
that
right?
the voice
Yeah,
could
I see.
created.
That makes sense.
So he would have been able to activate the wave 2 more times, but I'm guessing he decided, okay, well, I'm already discarding. I found my demonic tutor, so he gets to go for Shuko next turn with the demonic.
Yeah, the Skullclaim interaction with the mobilized tokens is also pretty good.
Yeah.
If they are not blocked. Yeah, what I was trying to say earlier is that once you include black into the storm lineups, you shouldn't forget that most of those decks these days finish with Broodlord combos, right? It's like now that the Dark Ritual and Underworld Breach was banned, the recent Jund Storm variant is kind of back because there is a Broodlord line if it
Yeah.
isn't for the Storm Scale sign. So you win with dragons either way. So difficult decision for Ral. I was almost saying Baral, but Baral is under Parallax Wave. And it's not the commander played. Yeah, there are a couple of things to do.
So starting off with a Ral in play this turn would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
He has the Past in Flames in hand. I don't know if I would be including a Spire Bluff Canal in this list. Seems like
It depends on the amount of red spells. Because I'm pretty sure the list
he's
is
also
also.
including an is it boiler works.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a snap.
Yeah, the snap
The
doesn't really
snap
do the
isn't going
job,
to do
right?
much.
No.
I mean, nothing really does the job because he gets to double
Save
activate
it.
on
Yeah.
with the parallax wave, and then
Next turn it comes back.
yeah,
Unless there is one sudden shock has split second, but it only deals 2 damage, right?
yeah. So he'd need to bonus round and then sudden shock. Ah, okay. That's also a possibility. He lightning bolts the voice of victory. Therefore, he has 3 creatures less on board in this turn,
Mm.
and he has removed the last counter from the P wave.
No, there's one
Oh,
remaining. Strike it
no, no, no.
rich.
Yeah,
Coming down.
he hasn't removed the last counter from the P wave because he activated it only once, and the lightning bolt triggered.
Yeah, and now he
So
decides to change
yeah,
the counter for another trigger, and as you said, both come back. By the time the creatures leave the battlefield, Ral is unable to interact with it. And that likely results in a 104 Tymna and Thrasios.
was that a? I think I just saw a Shadow Mage Infiltrator, but I might be wrong.
I highly doubt that this is the case. So for all
Me
the
too.
people that don't know,
There's a temporal fissure.
Shadow Mage Infiltrator, guys. I will bring down the oldest variant just so that you get a feeling for how long this card is around.
Oh no, never mind. That's not the one I'm talking about. What? Wait, I have to look at what it's called. I think I saw. Put in the binder here. Not Shadow Mage Infiltrator.
So we have Opt, Consider, Turnabout, and more things. Not deciding to cast Baral. Okay, interesting. Despite the fact that the Thundering Falls is already searched for, and it surveilled a temporal fissure.
Baral? You mean Ral?
Yeah, I keep saying Baral. Just ignore
Yeah.
it. You know we're talking about is it.
Yeah. Looter Core is what I'm talking about. I
Okay.
think I saw a Looter Core in the deck, but maybe I'm mistaken.
That's probably the case. I would be surprised about this include.
Yeah.
Here's the temporal fizz, by the way. One of the things you need to feature in order to have an out with Ral. The problem here is it does not win the game on spot. But usually it creates a bigger advantage. Okay. Yeah. I think he wanted to opt end of turn in order to search or find the third land, I guess.
So We are. Are we sorcerer? I'm a little confused where we are currently. Oh no, he's on the play.
He opted
So
end of turn.
Yeah. So Thrasios Tymna, no plays turn 1 and 2.
Expressive iteration still not finding any lands. Oh Jesus, that hurts. Vivi is definitely a great addition.
Serum Visions.
I'm not sure how many lands the deck plays. End of turn, Eladamri's Call. Probably searching for a devoted druid in this case, okay.
So with no land drops made, he shows a Swift and yeah.